did you do that? I kept them both.
It's not in there.
$10. Then China.
Pointing the way.
What we have to do?
Did he goes this way?
We have to come back. We're gonna go have fun. We're gonna go see everything. We're gonna watch. This is the whole city. I've been living here for 40 years. Enjoyed it.
As you will remember, was a secret disciple of Jesus. He was a member of the Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin was like the parliament, both religious and political, of Israel at the time, and they were ultimately the ones who were judging Jesus on Good Friday, and who had condemned him to death as well. The Sanhedrin, Saint Nicodemus was a member of the Sanhedrin. He was a secret disciple of Jesus. And Jesus, according to the Gospel of John, would meet with him in secret at night at his house. So as such, his house becomes important for us as one of the biblical sites. And then the Byzantine period, they did build a church here commemorating the house of Saint Nicodemus. Later, this was of course destroyed in the year 1008. It was rebuilt by the Crusaders, and we still have in the interior, as a matter of fact, that arch is a typical Crusader arch, and in the interior, in the underground, we have a considerable amount of the Crusader structure still surviving. But then again, it was closed, and it was not until the end of the 19th century, during the Patriarchate of Patriarch Damianos, he was from 1897 until 1931, and Patriarch Damianos, or Damien, had the monastery and the church which presently exists built over the Crusader structure which has survived. And there's another strange story. Somebody, and according to my Franciscan archaeologist professors, not very competent, found something that reminded them of a prison and said that this is additionally a prison, and started to conjure up all sorts of strange stories. However, this is not likely. If it is the house of Nicodemus, it does at least has the argumentation that since Byzantine times there is this tradition which exists in this spot.
Where? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Over here, the first and the second station.
Greco. Greek.
Electoratului Traian. Dacă am spus noi ceva de încolțit Dacă vreți să dați drumul crucii, $1 drumul crucii. În limba română, dacă doriți. În limba română, dacă doriți, ăsta e $1.
Flagellation. Today it belongs exclusively to the Franciscans. However, prior to 1912, it was under the status quo jointly between the Orthodox and the Franciscans. The Latin church was on that side, built by the Emperor of Austria, whereas the Orthodox church was here on this side. In the Orthodox church, we would find these elements of the flooring. These were stones which are being used a second time. Originally, these stones comprised the Antonia Fortress. The Antonia Fortress was the Praetorium, the place where the contingent of Roman military soldiers in Jerusalem was housed in the time of Jesus. And Pontius Pilate did not normally live in Jerusalem. He lived in Caesarea of Palestine. However, because of the Feast of Pesach, he did come to Jerusalem just in case something important might happen that he'd be able to be there on the spot. And so for this same reason, he was at the Antonia Fortress, and it was at the Antonia Fortress that Jesus was judged 2 times. The first time Jesus was brought to Pontius Pilate by the Jews. Pontius Pilate did not want the case, so he therefore gave the case over to King Herod Antipas, who at this time was in Jerusalem. Jesus was taken from the Antonia Fortress to the citadel, judged by King Herod. Then he was sent back to Pontius Pilate and judged a second time. At first he was beaten, mocked, and tortured by the Roman soldiers, and only then he was finally tried in the place called Gabata.
Aren't those nice?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's the way of the cross. The way of the cross is today a devotion made up of a series of stations, starting from Jesus' trial and his condemnation and ending with his crucifixion and burial. Now, this was a devotion which was created in Western Europe as part of the Latin tradition. And when the Crusaders came to Jerusalem, they asked, where is the way of the cross? And nobody knew what they were talking about. There's no way of the cross. That is to say, there is a Praetorium, and there is a Golgotha, and there is point A and point B, and the road between point A and point B. However, it's a bad devotion, and the Orthodox have borrowed it to a certain extent, such that on Good Friday there is an Orthodox way of the cross. They simply start from the Praetorium and take the cross and march the way all the way to the Basilica of the Resurrection. So as we are here at the third station of the cross, I wanted to point that out. And now, as promised, you have a short break. And
Notice he said short.
No, I didn't say short.
I said he said.